Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. All right. Okay. Now, last episode, I was at the end of the runway in a science rover kind of thing that had a very seriously flawed design because it had jet engines, but it didn't have the intakes that allowed the engines to actually work. So I had to go back in and redesign, put a couple of these liquid fuel fuselages on there, put the jet engines on the back of them, and air intakes on the front, and now it actually works and can drive around. So I went around with the science gear that I had and hit all the spots in the Space Center. And then I got enough science to get the Science Junior here, and I went around to all the spots in the Space Center again. And that took me, let's see, I went and I got this. No, I got this first up with the Science Junior. And then after going around with the Science Junior, I came down here and picked up this one because it's got lights and beginning photovoltaic panels and a beginning round battery and so on. Somewhere along the line I picked up this one for, well, yeah, that's what made it possible to get the thing built in the first place, yeah. And I also recently picked up this one primarily because of this here crew cabin, because that's going to be useful in tourist contracts, which, let's see, have these guys pass out from G-forces. I don't think I'm going to get that done anytime immediately soon. I didn't mean to hit that. But I'm going to stop in mission control and let's see about, oh crap. I could probably do the orbit Kerbin message, but I don't want to just yet because that will make up other things. I want the suborbital flight missions. So let's try this. Okay, test a command pod at the launch site. All right. Just simply to do that. Clear some of these things out of there. Test the command pod. Mark 1 command pod. Yeah, okay. And launch. Get that done. Clear a few of these things out until tourism contracts begin to show up again. Okay, so I believe what I need to do here is run test. Contract complete. Okay. So all of that science gathering was just basically drive all around the Space Center. And we know how much fun that isn't, because it takes a while. And yeah, okay, let's see. Test an LVT-45 splashed down. Test a solid fuel booster at the launch site. Okay. Another easy one, because wait a minute, which booster was that? the hammer. Okay. Again, to the launch site. Hit the old run test. Oh. Okay, I'm going to revert to vehicle assembly. And I'm going to remove fuel from the thing and do that again. Because I don't particularly like the idea of killing my astronauts that soon. Now let's run test. Test complete. Recover. Yeah, that's much better. Just want to get to the point where I've got some of my preferred contracts. Okay, it looks like we're going to be testing at the launch site again. I'd like to get rid of this particular contract, but it's just the high-G adventure things, and I don't believe I'm up to that just yet. Alright, test at the launch site. Another quickie. A TD06 decoupler. Okay. Wait a minute. Dump that. Pop this on here. Okay. Yeah, that'll be quick and easy. It's a little repetitive, but I'm okay with that. Activate through staging. Okay. Alright, good. Okay. Work through some of these contracts. Heat shield at the launch site. All right. 0625. Get rid of that. Flip that over. Drop it on there. Get to the launch site. I should have looked up how to do it. Note. Run test option. Okay. Okay. I want to get to where I've got my suborbital contracts, because that's a good way I have found to rack up a good amount of funding. and a fair amount of reputation. Ferry a VIP to his destinations and back. Let's see, what do we got? Suborbital spaceflight on Kerbin. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Great. Now, let's go build a suborbital vehicle. All right, let's see. Okay, I have one individual to ferry, so that shouldn't be too huge of a deal. Okay. But I want to build a little bigger. So we'll build a vehicle that can carry at least 2. Let's see. What if I just build one that can carry 4? Let's see about that. Okay. Now, let's drop a couple of these. Up here. Let's always have one of these on there. Because that just makes sense. And all right. An El Cheapo decoupler. That should be enough of those. Give me a T45. And be a radio decoupler. X3. Let's see, we're at 9 tons, 20 parts. I'm at 19 tons. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now let's see, where is stage recovery. Okay, let's take this and change it to 3. There we go. We'll lose the hammers, but we don't care about that. All right. Suborbit taxi. 1. Okay. That will do. Now let's pick our passengers. Corny. All right. Let's check the staging. Always check the staging. Yeah, all right. Save it, launch it. All right. A nice, simple little trip into suborbital space. Let's see if we can do this without a disaster. Let's go ahead and nuke all of those messages. And throttle it up. And let's go. Okay. This is mission failure. Maybe. Didn't mean to hit that. Let's see if I can salvage this at all. It's not looking good. It's finally pointed in something resembling the right direction. If I can get the apoapsis up above 70K, we'll be all right. Fuel's almost gone, though. Fuel's gone, 39K. Unacceptable. Okay. I'm going to call this a simulation. Okay, maybe that's cheating. I don't care. I'm going to call it a simulation, revert to the vehicle assembly, and let's make a change or two. Let's see. These are terrible fins. These are not great, but better than nothing. So let's add a little something on here. That might act in the way of holding the thing facing in a proper direction. Yeah. And try it again. Well, maybe it's cheating. Like I said, I don't care. This is like, just keep trying, and if it doesn't work, it's a simulation, and if it does work, it's the real thing. Maybe that's cheating, but I don't care right now. Okay. SAS, throttle up, let's go. It's doing better. Less having to waste fuel fighting with stuff going in the wrong direction. That's a major plus right there all by itself. Apoapsis 27 and climbing. Looks like I'm going to get there this time. 75, that's 76, that's great. Right there. And the nice thing about the suborbital flight missions, you don't have to aim for a particular place or a special orbit or anything like that. All you have to do is achieve the altitude over 70 kilometers and then come back down in one piece. That's it. And so that's a really good thing. Yeah. So now we just get up there and then come back down. And on the way back down, I'll use the last of this fuel for some braking before I go ahead and jettison the lower stage. But with those parachutes on it, stage recovery will refund some of my money. Well, assuming things don't just self-destruct on staging, which has been known to happen. So we'll find out. Approaching 76.124. And down we go. Yeah. Now what I'll be doing between episodes here is accepting and flying as many of these suborbital contract missions as I can possibly get, because they will form a good foundation of initial funding. Right now I've got 205,000 credits, dollars, bucks, whatever, and yeah, gonna need a whole lot more to get this space program truly and genuinely off the ground. I mean, technically it's off the ground now, but truly and genuinely off the ground is going to be in the line of getting in position to start putting something permanent in orbit. That's something I very much am looking forward to. Okay, coming down in the mountains, or at the foothills of the mountains. And let's do some deceleration. Okay, And staging. Now the parachutes are armed. Dead weight is gone. Parachutes will come up, will open up when it's time to. Woo, that was no good. Darn near hit the ship. Well, at least it'll hit the ground first. We'll get to see it hit. Oh, goody. We're going nose first. Straight to the ground. Ready for a snap roll. Oh, please. What the F? Hello? That was crazy. That should not have happened. Okay, I'm going to call this a simulation. Revert to VAB, because that was just too catastrophically stupid for words. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take a little bit here and I'm going to try this flight one more time. And I'm thinking that the reason for this has got to do with going too fast for the parachutes as it got close to the ground. So my braking thrusting idea, I think, was probably a good one, but I maybe should have waited until I was closer to the ground to do it. Alright, this is a better trajectory. Thrust marker, the thrust vector is much closer to dead center. Okay, get the APO above 70. Good right there. Got a little bit of fuel left. It's like, what, 540 meters per second at delta V. Yeah. And if I wait to burn that delta V until much closer to the ground, perhaps we can avoid the whole crash and go boom thing. Because crash and go boom may be considered exciting by a lot of people. Crash and go boom is mission failure. And that's what makes me want to call it a simulation. Yeah. And what the heck, you know, this is a computer simulation until it works. Well, I'm doing that now, but it's partly because, let's be honest, I'm out of practice. and I need to get back in the groove, as it were, to get back into the groove of doing this stuff right. I used to be pretty good at things, but it's been a long time, and you know, one needs to get back in the groove, and I haven't played a whole lot between missions, between episodes. I probably should have, but I haven't. If I had done things right, this episode would have been a week or a week and a half sooner. But we're getting there. Okay, now descending. Still pointed in the right direction. Which, for this part of the mission, the right direction is the same as on the way up. We want the hot end down. And having a higher ground altitude might have been part of it too. Of course, parachute deployment has got to do with altitude above ground level, I believe. Okay. So we'll get down there. And somewhere below 20,000, I'll hit the brakes. And we'll see if we can get this thing down on the ground or in the water without killing the passengers. And preferably without killing the pilot too, because having fired old crazy pants, Valentina is the only pilot. Okay. 20,000. Oh! And now you got a point in the wrong friggin' direction. And no. Okay. I can see I'm going to have to do more simulations. So I'm going to do more simulations off camera. And then next episode, we'll be ready to do some actual live, doing it for real. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.